Alright, so in this video I'm showing off the hitbox and how I use it with Mortal Kombat. At first glance, the hitbox, it looks pretty intimidating. All you see is a bunch of buttons. It looks kind of confusing at first, but it's actually not. It's really simple and it works quite well with Mortal Kombat. Let me give a breakdown of what each button does. You have left, down, right, and up. Now, while it may seem initially that having the jump button down here might be a bit counterintuitive, it's actually quite the opposite. And once you start getting used to it, you're going to realize that having the jump button up here makes you far more efficient, and it's a brilliant design. The rest of the buttons here, just your standard buttons that you would find on any arcade stick. So on the PlayStation, this would be squares, triangle, X, circle, and these are the shoulder buttons here. I actually changed the layout because I couldn't find where to place the block button, and that's been the problem I've had with just using Mortal Kombat on a stick that isn't the actual Mortal Kombat stick. So what I did is I basically try to copy that Mortal Kombat layout here. So this is front punch, this is back punch, this is front kick, this is back kick, and I have block over here. And I set up the tag button to this button because pretty much I'm never going to play tag mode often, so if I accidentally hit it, it won't do anything at all. Then I have like stance change and whatever over here, but that's, and the grab button, I have that set up over here. But I mean, you can just do button presses, you just do that for grab, and if you want to do X-ray, you just hit, the bottom three, and I think that works out better anyway. So for Mortal Kombat, I use Sindel. So she's a pretty simple character, I would say, to use. So she's not too combo intensive. And basically you're just doing fireballs. So her fireball is just a down, forward, and either punch or kick. So it's down, forward, kick, and then that's it. It's really simple. And then for her standing fireball, it's just down, forward, punch. And that's it. The way I hold the controller is I have my middle finger always on the block button pretty much, and it just kind of hovers around it. And then I'm mostly using front punch and back kick, especially when I'm doing fireballs. So my fingers are always, I'm always using my index finger around here. And my thumb is always hovering over the jump button. That's what I use to jump. You would think you use your left hand, but at least for me, it's a lot faster to use your thumb on your right hand. Maybe because I'm right-handed or what, but that seems to be the most efficient way to play. Alright, I can show some combos with Sindel so you get an idea what it looks like while playing. So it's pretty easy. Sindel's not exactly the best combo character to be showing off stuff for videos, but she gets the job done for the purposes of this video. So she's got some cool combos. It's nothing too difficult to do, I don't think. But I've used Kenshi, I've used Scarlet, and I can do their combos pretty easily as well. Once you get a grasp of the gameplay, you're not going to really have too many issues depending on the character or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about anything like that for the hitbox. But so in this case, since I use Sindel, I'm going to show you some things that she can do. So she has air fireball. She has two different air fireballs, and it depends on the button that you push. So some techniques that players are able to do is that you can do air fireball immediately after you jump. Now this is somewhat difficult to do on a stick because you have to really mash out on the stick itself, the motion from jumping up into doing a fireball, and depending on the kind of stick that you use, it could be more difficult than not. And I know for the PDP stick, I found that I have to do a very large motion in order for that to work, and it just seems not as efficient. And on a controller, it's pretty simple. You can almost do it immediately, and on the hitbox, I can do it immediately without fail. So I'll show you right now. I'm gonna jump and just do a fireball as soon as possible. And that's it. So it's ridiculously easy. It involves little to no thought at all. It's amazing. She also has this levitate move. It's down, down, up. And that move by itself really sucks. The levitate's just garbage. So when you push block, she'll fall out of her levitate state. Well, people learn that you can levitate cancel, basically. It's almost like an instant air fireball. So you do the levitate and then you push block and she just cancels out of it. And it's really good to trick your opponents out, you know, for mix-ups and stuff like that. It also can be used for pressure. But I usually use it just to trick people. So I'll do it on the hitbox right now just so you can see how easy it is. And that's me canceling out of the levitate. That's how fast it can be. I mean, it's not going to be significantly slower if you're using a stick or controller. I mean, it's not going to be any different than that. But I mean, it's just really simple to do. And I think the fact that you're pushing buttons, and let's say there's an opponent next to you, that person's knowing, he's going to know that you're doing something, but he doesn't know what. And I mean, how many people are going to think that she's going to cancel her levitate? They'll probably think she's going to do a fireball. And I mean, you can do that perfectly. You can just spam fireballs all day, make the opponent hear that sound, think that you're going to do it again, and in fact, you're just doing a levitate cancel. So for characters that have a teleport, for instance, like Smoke, that's really helpful against Smoke. I mean, it's helpful against Ermac, anybody like that. It's kind of difficult to use against someone like Raiden since his teleport is so fast. You're probably not going to be throwing any fireballs anyway. Same thing for Smoke. I mean, you're probably going to be throwing some fake fireballs at him, hopefully getting to bait out a shake move or something like that. But otherwise, you're really going to want to get up close to that character. The layout that I have, like I said, I have this as block, so enhanced moves are at my disposal very easily. So I can just do enhanced moves like that, and I'm using those enhanced moves the most. So for my character, this is really convenient for me. But I mean, it's not that difficult to do other types of enhanced moves either. So I mean, that's why I like the fact that I have the block button here. Like I was saying, my biggest hurdle with using the hitbox for Mortal Kombat was figuring out where to place that block button. And once I did that, everything was pretty easy for me. And once I got adjusted to the fact that jump is where my thumb is at, because I'm not exactly used to that. And what's funny is if I play on the PDP stick, for instance, they have the run button over here, and I'll accidentally push that because my hands are so used to using that as jump. It really messes me up for using the PDP stick. Thankfully, I don't have to use it often, but when I go to Galloping Ghost, they have their own MK cabinets over there, they're custom made, and they have that run button there, and they use, you know, the old school bat top and stuff like that. So I have to use the PDP stick when I'm practicing for that kind of tournament. But otherwise, I mean, I don't really make any mistakes. That's not a mistake that's the fault of the hitbox either, so it's not like you have to worry about that. Right now I'm going to try to show some real world application using the hitbox so you can get an idea of what it's like in an actual match. So I'm going to play online since there's nobody here that plays Mortal Kombat around me. So it should be sufficient enough. I mean, playing against the AI is not ideal at all, so I'd rather not do that. But aside from some issues of possible lag, it won't be that bad. This guy should be quite a formidable opponent. His record is 600 and 200. And he's a noob sidewalk player, so this is going to be a long-range match. Probably going to be difficult to overcome, mostly just due to lag. We'll see how it goes. Ugh. Ugh, I should have seen that coming. Ugh. So this guy's not as good as I thought he was gonna be, but this should give you a good idea of what it's like when I'm playing. You'll notice that my hands are mostly on the bottom 3 buttons. I rarely deviate from that position. Oh wow, he just didn't block there at all. So that worked in my favor. And then I just did a pointless X-ray to piss him off. But yeah, so I mean, that's basically it. I'll probably rematch him so you can get another match in, see how it's like. Or not, he doesn't want to play me again. So I'll end this video on that note, I guess. I think the take-home message here is that the hitbox is awesome and it works great with Mortal Kombat. It's simple to do 2-in-1s. I'll show you, if you don't know what a 2-in-1 is, I'll show you what that is. So basically you're doing an attack and you can cancel that attack into a special move. Not all attacks allow you to do that. So that's a 2-in-1. It's really easy to do that kind of stuff. Combos are really simple because, I mean, you're just doing the same inputs that you would see. If you see down forward, you push down forward. There's no worry about having any diagonals mess up your inputs or anything like that. So in that sense, it's perfect for Mortal Kombat. Doing dashes is really easy too. I mean, you're just pushing to dash backwards and just pressing back twice, or dash forward twice. Now, what's really useful is when you're blocking. So let's say you're fighting against someone like Smoke and he's constantly throwing smoke bombs at you, or you're fighting somebody that's throwing fireballs. Same concept. Basically, you can dash forward and block almost immediately, since you can cancel anything off of a dash. So 4-4 block, 4-4 block. And this can help you slowly creep your way towards the opponent while blocking at the same time. It's really helpful. You're probably going to be using that very often, and during my match you saw me doing that often. So if you heard me pushing a bunch of buttons, it was because that's the technique that I was using. The only time you're going to have any problems using the hitbox in Mortal Kombat is probably going to be due to the negative edge, and that's just because of how the game works. It's not really a problem with the actual hitbox itself. It's just really sensitive, and most players know that that's a problem, and it doesn't matter what you use. It could be a Mad Catz TE, it could be a fight pad, a DualShock, whatever it is, or the hitbox itself. You know, you're gonna have issues with the negative edge. Now, if you don't know what the negative edge is, basically when you hit an attack button, it registers when you push the button and when you let go of the button. So I'm gonna do a fireball right now, and I'm just gonna do it normally. So there's the fireball. I did it as I pushed the button. Now I'm going to push, punch, and then I'm going to do the motion for the fireball, and then you're going to still see me do the fireball once I let go of the punch button. See, now that's basically what negative edge is, and during combos this is really a problem because you're going to not all the time obviously, but there's going to be a lot of moments where you're going to accidentally do the wrong move during a combo, and it's cost me so many matches in the past, and it will continue to cost me many matches in the future, and there's really nothing you can do about it. So I mean, in one sense, negative edge is kind of useful because it makes inputs a lot easier. So basically I can do a punch and then I can go into a fireball without pushing an extra button. So I can just do that, and you'll see all I did was push the punch button once and I did a two-hit combo. So I mean, in that sense it's kind of useful, but like I said, when you're doing a combo that requires you to push a different button but using the same motion as like a fireball. So Sindel, one motion that she has is down forward punch for the fireball, like you know, and then down forward and a different punch button will do the hair whip. So sometimes in a combo, let's say if I wanted to do punch into hair whip or something, I might accidentally do the fireball instead. See? Aside from that, you probably won't have too many problems playing Mortal Kombat with the hitbox. I know I haven't. I'd say the learning curve is about a week or two. That's when I started being able to do things that I could normally do on the pad. And after that, I just started getting better. And when you first use the hitbox, I mean, there's definitely a tough learning curve, just for the fact that you have to know where left, down, right, and up are at, and that's confusing for about maybe the first 2 or 3 hours. and once you get past that, you're able to do things. It's only when you're in actual matches that it might become confusing, because when you're in the moment, you don't know what to do. You're not going to remember, oh yeah, this is left at first. So, I mean, you have to deal with that. But for me, I mean, I went to my first tournament with the hitbox after about 3 weeks of using it, and I ended up winning that tournament. So, I mean, obviously, the learning curve wasn't that big of a problem for me, at least. I mean, it shouldn't be for most people either. I think the design is pretty intuitive. I mean, it works really well with Mortal Kombat. It works well with other fighting games as well, but nobody seemed to have really covered Mortal Kombat with the hitbox yet, and I've been playing it exclusively with Mortal Kombat pretty much. So I figure I should give some input on how it's like playing, and if I even plan on continuing using it, and I will use it. And this is pretty much going to be my main way of playing Mortal Kombat now. And I highly recommend it. If you are interested in the hitbox, definitely check it out. If you play Mortal Kombat, it's going to help you quite a bit, just execution-wise. And it's a lot of fun, too. So on that note, I think I'll end this video. It's gone on long enough already. And if you want to read more information about the hitbox, you can just read my review on TheSixthAxis.com. Thanks for watching.